Hey, I'm Chris, and this is my beautiful wife, Shannon.
Hello.
We live full-time in an RV, which is a 45-foot fifth wheel, and we drive a truck and a van at the same time. She drives a van, I drive a truck. But we have
That's
six...
another video.
It's another video. We have 6 dogs, so it's easier to travel that way.
Yeah.
All right, this video, we're going to be talking about, or at least just showing you how we set up our travel GPS route. Because if you're just starting out, I'm sure you've searched for it. You probably found videos on the same application, but this should hopefully help get you started. I'm not going to go into details because there's plenty of videos out there with details, or we could do another one with details, but this is real quick, down and dirty, what we use and how we plan out our trip. We use an application called RV Life. Well, it's actually Trip Wizard, so RV Life Trip Wizard. If you sign up for RV Life, which we will have a discount code here coming soon. It should be in the description once we get it. But when you sign up, you want to navigate and find tripwizard.rvlife.com. When you do, basically we don't have any trips set up right now. So we're going to create a trip, and we're going to call this one 2025 Kalamazoo, Michigan. And we are actually leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow. And so that'd be the 10th. We hit create, and once our starting location, you can use my location. We just like to type it in there. For this demo, I'm just going to put the center of the city, Rock Falls, Illinois. This is where we are now, so I'll choose Rock Falls, and we'll say start here. On the left is some basic settings, and you can set a lot of this information up as default settings, and that'd be another video, or I'm sure you can find another video online with some details on that. But for this case, basically RV info, I put in the height of this RV and the length, which is actually about 45 feet. So I'll put 45. I'll err on the side of a little bit larger just to be on the safe side. And what this is going to do is it's going to prevent the system from taking you down roads that have low overpasses, low bridges, and all that stuff. Yeah. But still pay attention, because you don't want to rely 100% on anything like that. But so 45 feet, and then max weight is 20,000 pounds. Now the type of truck, it's a diesel truck with a 50-gallon tank. And then I configured it to say, show me warnings when I have 15 gallons left in the tank. And you'll probably pick whatever works best for you, but when we're out in the mountains, like where? Or maybe
yeah, but Tennessee
has
some mountains. Arizona.
Southern Missouri, though, like
Southern Missouri, yeah.
There's a long span where there's no fuel stops. And if there is, you'll pass it and you'll be like, oh man, I needed to get off there. So
and then you find an exit, which is far, and then you got to turn around.
Oh yeah, you don't want to do that.
Far back. So
there's nothing worse than having to do that.
Right.
But so I set up for 15 gallons and fuel economy. So the truck is a new truck, and it's a very heavy, or fairly heavy trailer, and high profile. So worst I've ever seen this truck get is about 6.7 or 6.8 miles per gallon. That's heavy wind and a lot of hills, and then towing very heavy. I mean, we had this thing packed with a lot of stuff. So I just put in there 7 miles per gallon, and it will help calculate all this stuff. Fuel warnings, I have it set for multiple, and you'll see why. Well, maybe you won't see why in this video, because this one, we're doing a short trip tomorrow. It's not short. It's like a 4.5-hour trip.
It's one of the shorter trips.
Yeah. If you're going far, you'll want this on, and you'll see that it'll show you all the warnings or the warning areas where you need to start fueling up. But anyways, I'll leave that on, and then I'm going to hit routing and driving. So I feel like I'm already diving too deep into this, but just there's other options in here, and you could look at them yourself. But for this one, I'm going to hit save, and it's saving and building out our trip. It shows the starting point. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in, which I already typed it in here, Kalamazoo County Expo, and it is this one. I'm going to click it, say add to trip. And number of nights we're staying. It's not so important in this case, but like if you're doing, if you're going to be, your first stop is at some state park and you're going to stay there a night or two, you'll want to add that in here. It just helps plan out your whole trip overall. So we're going to stay 5 nights, and I'm going to say this is the last stop. So save custom stop. All right, it's done. I'm going to go ahead and click on the starting point up here. just to have that highlighted, and then I'm going to say show entire trip. This is our entire trip, and it starts here, and we drive out to Kalamazoo. This little warning is that it calculated if I had a full tank here, it calculated when I would probably need to get fuel. This is pretty important because I spent a lot of time planning out my diesel stops because I don't want to get stuck in a small gas station or diesel stop.
But you can't get in or out?
Yeah.
Not to interrupt you, though, but if you zoom out, how come our... Oh, it just looked really funny. Like it was just around the lake.
Oh, yeah. So what this is that driving radius. And the reason it's not like a perfect circle is because I have it on advanced radius. Basically what this says is from here, where the highlighted point that I'm on right now, this green mark is basically I don't remember how I have it configured. Since you brought it up, let's go take a look. If I go into trip settings and I go to routing, I say set distance minimum, middle, and maximum. I'm going to probably end up switching this to 6 hours a day. So I'll hit save. Basically what that does is says, all right, well, I'm going to draw a nice green line within the route that you need to go to on how long it would, or where you would end up if you're at 6 hours. So basically, if we took this route here, our 6 hour mark when we want to stop and sleep over for the night would be around here. Okay? And that's it's pretty simple. But I'm going to turn that off just because I don't really need that on this one. So driving radius, I'm going to say turn that off. Okay? So here's our fuel stop. Now I configured I'm going to hit this little icon up here. It's called the POI, or points of interest. And just notice this red box because this might trip you up sometimes. You go zooming in somewhere and you don't see any points of interest. If this box is here, that means hit it. Sometimes it doesn't refresh or doesn't show you all the time. So if I zoom back in, it's going to pop back up. I hit refresh, or I hit that button again to refresh it. So anyways, coming back over here, this shows us all the loves and the TAs. And the reason it only shows us those for fuel stops is because in this research tab, I said only show me loves and TAs because those are the ones I like because they work with our EFS card.
Well, and they have the diesel pump separate from
it's a truck stop. And the EFS card is basically the open roads diesel discount program. It's wonderful. Highly recommend. We could do another video on that. Okay, so it's only showing me these, and I don't want to risk not getting it before that, just because I don't know. I don't want to risk it. So I could get it here, but if I click on that, it says it's about 70 miles, which isn't that bad. I know I have enough to get there, but I don't really want to get fuel along this path. Why is it taking me this route? That's an interesting way. Sometimes it'll take me up this route, depending on traffic or whatever, but I'm actually going to pick this Loves right here. 209 miles. Oh, you know why? I was going to say 70 miles, that doesn't seem right. So it's because I have this one highlighted, the Kalamazoo. It's our destination. I have that highlighted. So then when you click on something, it tells you how many miles it is away from the highlighted one. So I'm going to click on Rock Falls. Then I'm going to click on this show entire trip again. All right, so we're okay now. Now if I click on that, it says it's 64 miles away. So I know I have plenty of fuel to do that. So I'm gonna say let's add this as a fuel stop. I'm gonna say add trip. I'm going to say add this after the Rock Falls, which is our first stop, or our starting point. So I add that. I'm going to say show entire trip again, just because I like to see the overall. I'm going to turn off the POI to clean up my map. And now you can see I have the starting point. I have our first stop, which is the Loves travel stop. It's 64 miles away, and it takes about an hour and 20 minutes to get there, averaging 50 miles per hour. That takes in consideration your stopping and starting at stoplights and just cruising along slow.
But I like it because we actually end up getting there sooner than...
Yeah, it feels better. It feels better. And then from there, you can see when you highlight over your next stop, it highlights on the map itself which path you're talking about. So if I switch between these two, you can see which one you're talking about. So on a longer trip, it just makes it easier to see which one you're talking about. And it makes the little icon bounce. And you can see from the Loves travel stop to Kalamazoo County Expo, it's 213 miles, which is 4 hours, 15 minutes away. It's not going to take us that long unless there's some bad traffic, but essentially that's that. Now, the warning didn't go away, even though we added a fuel stop. Here's the trick. This is pretty cool about RV Live. We can go into this stop here, which is up here, and you can say edit, and then there's a little fuel added section. I always just say top off and hit save. And now it removed the warning because it knows that I topped off here. I have a 50-gallon tank, and I'm saying, show me warnings when I have 15 gallons left with an average of 7 miles per gallon. Or not average. Yeah, I guess it would be an average of 7 miles per gallon. Which is, I mean, I get, on a good day, I probably get 9. So, but...
That's downhill with the wind pushing it.
Yeah. And so that's essentially how we plan out our trips. This is a very short one, but we are doing it tomorrow, actually. So this is the trip. Oh, so after you do it on the computer, then on your phone, you can just open up RV Life, as long as it's tied to the same account. You go to trips, and you say start GPS or start navigation to your first stop. You don't want it. This is the thing that it'll trip you up. Because it tripped me up. It really frustrated me, almost to the point I stopped using RV Life. Remember when we set up a trip and I tried to navigate to the end result, last stop, and then it would start rerouting me in the middle of a trip. I used to get so mad because it would mess me up because I knew I had to go straight, but it wanted me to go back the way I came.
Yeah.
So always navigate to your next stop, and then close the app again when you get there, fuel up or whatever you got to do, and start the navigation to the next stop again. But it works really well on Apple CarPlay. Apple CarPlay has its own app for RV Life. And I don't know, this is a very basic video, but we wanted to just kind of share with you what we use because it's very helpful. It would have been very helpful to have some new RV people friendly video. Hopefully this is a new RV people friendly video. I don't know. Tongue twister.
New to RVing people?
There you go. If you like this and it's helpful, please subscribe. Please like. It helps us out. It helps us keep motivated to keep going. So we'll do a lot more videos on our travels and tips and tricks.